Hi everyone, Tony from Mac the Movies here, and today we're talking about Casper for its 30th anniversary. Is it still good? Was it ever good? Let's find out today on Hack the Movies.
Tapes, we're talking about tapes.
I don't like this intro.
Hello, Monica.
Hi, Tony.
We're back to talk about ghosts. So we talked about Amityville Horror and all the ghosts there. And
Yeah, we just went adjacent, you know.
I said, Monica, next time we talk about ghosts, they better be friendly. They better be friendly ghosts. And I said, find me a friendly ghost to talk about.
And we achieved that.
We did. We found Casper, the friendly ghost. Now, remember, in the 90s, the big trend was remaking old TV stuff.
Yeah.
And Casper, of course, started off as a comic. And the 90s was also about making comics into movies. Not like big ones. You had your Batmans, but you had your Ninja Turtles and stuff.
Yeah.
And Casper fit both criteria.
Yeah.
Based on an old comic, based on an old cartoon show. And they made it live action. Spielberg, apparently, after Ninja Turtles, was like, we got to make Casper. I don't know why his mind went there. But he's like, we could do Casper now. Let's do it. And I think he even tried to get the Ninja Turtles director to do it. And that guy was like, nah.
He's like, I did the Turtles. I'm not doing Casper.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't think I need to do Casper, the friendly ghost. But yeah, Spielberg did a couple of these. He produced the Flintstones remake,
Yeah.
which I talked about on Cinema Trip Reviews. What, do you not like Flintstones?
Not really.
Flintstones was good.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let's not stick on this point.
I'm sorry, directed by Brian Levant, whose autograph I have right here.
Doesn't mean I have to like Flintstones.
He also did Jingle All the Way.
See, I love Jingle All the Way.
Okay, at least you like some of his work.
I just don't care about the Flintstone characters. God damn.
But the Casper ones are great.
This Casper one is great.
Yeah, this was a big one for us, I
Yeah.
think, in the 90s. Again, 30 years ago. How's that feel, Monica?
That's rough.
You know what else?
That is rough.
You know what else came out in 95?
I'm going to guess.
Batman Forever, starring the late Val Kilmer.
Did he
Shout
get a
out.
mug made after his death or before his death?
Tim somehow found a mug that was Val Kilmer themed and gave it to me a few months ago.
Okay, well, that was interesting timing. There's hair in it, by the way. Inside of it.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I probably should clean this. I think it was for a printing company. I think they tested out that they could print mugs, but they tested it with 3 random pictures of Val Kilmer.
They love
and
Val
then
Kilmer.
he found it in a Goodwill. Anyway, and now I have it.
You know what? Lucky. I don't find good things like that in Goodwill.
Yeah, so this is a big one. I remember seeing this in the theaters.
Yeah.
Did you see this in the theaters?
Yeah.
This one you remember seeing in the theaters. Movies from 30 years ago you can remember seeing. Movies I saw with you, you cannot remember seeing.
I remember being obsessed with Casper. You cannot ask me if I remember every detail of going to go see Casper, but I remember I saw it.
Hey, what
God damn it.
what do you remember about seeing Evil Dead Rise for the first time?
That's the
This went I was hoping you would just forget that you saw it with me.
No, I remember I saw it with you.
But instead you just forgot what the movie was.
I was trying to remember. It's the one with the girl.
The apartment building.
No. I was wondering if you meant the other one before that.
We
Sorry.
saw both of them.
Yeah, I
But
do
the fact that you
remember.
had to like Anyway.
Sorry.
Industrial Light and Magic worked on this. So they did all the digital Casper effects. I think this was the first feature film to have a completely CGI lead character.
Yeah.
Which was big at the time. It was a big, and this is like one that you could do, and it doesn't age too badly.
I still think it looked good.
Luckily, Casper is cartoony and doesn't have to look real.
Yeah.
So Casper and the Ghost look fine. Some of the other digital stuff could look weird from time to time. For the most part, it works really, really well effects-wise. Alex Proyas was supposed to direct this. He did The Crow.
Oh, I feel like that would have gone a different way.
Yeah, well, this would have been his first big Hollywood movie, and he was attached to it for a while, and then he left before production started because I think he wanted it. This is It's not dark, but it's a little bit darker than you would expect for a Casper when it comes to his backstory and everything.
But I feel like a lot of kids' movies always have some weird, like, undercurrent of darkness.
Yes, which was his thing. He wanted it to go a little harder, I think. And then they were like, we got to sell Happy Meals, buddy. Could you fucking not? This is like a few years after Batman Returns. They're like, no, don't go dark. The Penguin was making pussy jokes and it hurt our toy sales. For the love of God, make it family friendly and happy. But a little mature jokes here and there.
Yeah.
But he walked off. They got Brad Silberling to do it. He does a lot of TV now. But he ended up like directing, what was it, that Nicolas Cage movie where he's an angel with Meg Ryan.
City of Angels?
Yes, that one.
Why do I remember that?
I don't know.
It's pretty easy to remember those City of Angels.
Why didn't I remember that is the bigger question. I'm like, that angel, he's in the city.
He's in Los Angeles and he's an angel, City of Angels.
But yeah, I was looking at the crew behind this because I watched it this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Projected onto my ceiling because I still don't have a TV in my bedroom.
Okay.
And my back hurts, so I couldn't watch it down here. But shot by my favorite cinematographer, Dean Cundy. Edited by Michael Kahn. I mean, they had just worked on Jurassic Park. They were the editor and cinematographer for Jurassic Park. Music by James Horner. You got like an all-star team right here. And it was written by Slappy Squirrel from Animaniacs. And also written by the lady who voiced the brave little toaster. I'm not making any of that up.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess they worked so much in animation that they picked them up for this, even though it wasn't an animated movie. But they wrote it as if it would be, I guess. Because I was looking it up. I'm like, wait, they're actors? And I'm like, oh, Slappy Squirrel. I didn't expect that.
Slappy Squirrel.
There was going to be a musical sequence in this. They apparently cut it out. There was going to be a song.
That's too much money, right?
I think so, yeah. There was going to be a song about how it's like great to be a ghost or something. Steven Spielberg had a cameo and they cut it for time, but he apparently was like, I'm actually glad I'm not a good actor. And I think, so Casper and his uncles, who are renamed, apparently they licensed the Ghostly Trio, but then they changed all their names.
Okay.
Wendy was supposed to be in this, but they were like, we only bought Casper and the three
It would have been
fuckers.
too complicated to put Wendy in it.
Let's save that for the direct-to-video spin-offs, okay? They look pretty much consistent the whole movie, but the kitchen scene, I think, was the first scene they did with the ghost, like edited, and I think they're a little bit more solid in the kitchen scene. And I think they're whiter in that scene. There's times where they're like bluish and times where they're whiter. It goes back and forth. So let's get into this wonderful film.
Okay.
Starring Christina Ricci.
Yeah.
Who does not like this movie? Yeah, actually, before we get into it, I read a thing where she's like, she doesn't like the movie. And she mentions that she was tired of being in kids' films. And she phoned it in. And I shouldn't have read that interview. Because as I was watching it, I'm like, oh, yeah, she's sleepwalking through this thing. She does not want to be there.
Yeah, she didn't. Yeah, she really just didn't want to do those movies anymore.
Yeah, she looked very bored in the movie. Which, again, I used to watch this all the time as a kid. And most of it still holds up. But now that I see her, I'm just like, oh, man, this kind of ruined the movie for me, knowing you don't want to be there. But yes, the movie starts with two kids sneaking into the super cool Whipstaff manor.
Yeah.
That thing looks awesome.
I know. I want to go there.
My sister actually watched this recently. She's like, they should have made that into a ride or something. That would have been awesome. But the whole manor looks so cool.
And bonus, the manor was also what they used for one of the Backstreet Boys videos.
Backstreet's Back?
I think so.
Oh my God. Well, that's the one where they're all monsters.
Yeah. So it works.
Wait, so they just have did they shoot? When did that song come out?
I gotta think that was probably late 90s, early 2000s. Backstreet was 90s, right?
Yeah, it was 90s. But like this movie, how long did they keep the set up for them to?
I don't know.
Anyway, it is a huge mansion set. I forgot how big it was.
Yeah.
These days, you don't really get giant big sets.
No.
You just get digital extensions, which there's a little bit of that in this. But yeah, it was nice to see a gigantic set. But yeah, these kids sneak in. They're going to go take a picture in the haunted manor. And they fight over who's going to have the camera.
Yeah.
And, you know, a
Because
friendly...
back then, you couldn't see yourself taking the photo.
No, no one ever took selfies back then. They never guessed. They never winged it.
Am I going to be in this photo?
Thank God they started making like the screens, because there's so many old photos I have of my mom's finger over the lens. So many of those. I'm like, why did she keep doing that? I went back and like photoshopped some of them out. I'm like, yeah, get rid of these. But yeah, they're fighting over the camera, and Casper decides to help them.
Yeah, he's like, I'll take it.
We don't see Casper right away here. They kind of build up to him. He was voiced by not Devon Sawa.
No, I know that.
Yeah, but I didn't know that going into it. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess he voiced him, and then he shows up, and I'm like, wait, Devon Sawa's just at the end. I'm like,
Yeah.
why does everyone give him so much fucking credit for this movie? He was on set for a day. This is so stupid. So yeah, they're terrified. James Horner does the classic Casper theme. This movie has really good music, and he works in the original theme pretty well. Then we get to see Ben Stein. I always like seeing Ben Stein in movies. The last movie, actually, it wasn't the last movie I reviewed. The Son of the Mask review was from 2021. That had Ben Stein in it. He returns as his character from the first Mask.
I don't remember who he was in the first Mask.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I mean, the first Mask still holds up.
Yeah, I'm sure that one does.
Son of the Mask. This might shock you. Does not hold up.
Did it ever hold up, though? That's the question.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you can't say it held up if it never stood up at all.
You're trying to put it on a higher platform, and like it should
You're
not
like,
be
hey, Monica, I think that movie's a little dated. It's like, nope, it was bad from the beginning. He's reading Carrigan's will. Mm-hmm. And Carrigan is played by, I think it's Catherine Moriarty. I'm going to be pissed.
You should have looked this up right before.
Yes, Catherine Moriarty. Which is funny because me and Casey, we went to go see that actor Daniel Roebuck, who's in a ton of horror movies and whatnot, but he also has his own faith-based production company, which I didn't know about. Okay. So he was in 2 Christmas movies last year, Monica. He made a movie called Saint Nick of Bethlehem.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Okay.
Yes. And then he was also in Terrifier 3 as the clown who gets horribly mutilated. 2 very different Christmas movies. We went to the drive-in to like go see it. Catherine Moriarty plays Daniel Roebuck's mom in it. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, wait a minute. They're like the same. I had to like look it up. They're not that far apart in age. And I was just like, wait, why did he hire her to be his mom?
Was she the only one? I don't know.
It was nice seeing her in a movie. She's still a good actress, but I'm just like, what a weird pick to play your mom. The theory I came up with is that it was a stepmom and his dad just liked younger ladies. That was my headcanon for it. Anyway, she's there because her dad died.
Yes.
And
she was not, she says she was holding his hand, but like you could tell they were not very close.
No. Maybe that's why she got nothing in the will.
Well, no.
She got one.
Whipstaff Manor.
Yes. But yeah, all the money was going to like animals and everything.
Flipper got more money than me.
Which is extra funny because there was a Flipper live action movie with Elijah Wood around this time.
And that's where that money went.
Yes. He died and gave money to the Flipper movie. God, there were so many of those TV show cartoon movies coming out. And the crazy thing to think is Mission Impossible is part of that trend, and it's the only one still going.
I don't even know why. But that's a discussion for another time.
Because they're great.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it's just weird that there's not 18 Casper movies connected to this film by this point. They didn't do a lot of flippers, I think.
I think it's kind of hard to do a whole lot of Flipper movies.
Yeah, I think Charlie's...
There may be some direct DVD things.
I think Charlie's Angels only got one sequel, really. It's just... Why did Mission Impossible survive out of all of them? Why was that the one that took off? If you would go back in time, would you want Casper to be the big franchise from the 90s?
No. I like it being one and done. I know it had... direct to
Monica's she's saying that the Spirit of Beginning is not canon. So yeah, she's pissed. She's pissed. And her assistant is Dibs, played by Eric Idle. For a minute, I'm like, if I gotta pull out the goddamn phone, I should know his name from Monty Python. Yeah, she throws everything in the fire because she's pissed that she just has a condemned mansion.
Yeah.
But then he sees a note about a treasure in the mansion. He's like, wait, there's treasure? She's like, oh my God, treasure? I bet you it's actually treasure and not anything else.
Couldn't be construed as anything else.
Yeah. So why is it written all piratey? I don't know. How did her dad get the manor?
It's never explained.
She related to Casper?
Maybe?
Maybe. So they go to the manor that night, just ready to look for treasure.
Yes.
Because no one has ever ransacked this place and looked for treasure.
They're all afraid of it.
Yeah, I
the
guess
ghosts
they are.
keep them away.
They are all afraid of it. But yeah, they walk in and they hear a kid in there. I'm like, who are? I like that she's telling him what to say. That was pretty funny. Who are you? Are you a transient? Are you a burglar? So they ask Casper to show himself, and then we get the big reveal of Casper, and he looks great.
Hi, I'm Casper. Yeah, he's adorable.
They changed his eyes a little bit. Actually, that looks more like what his eyes look like in the cartoon. I think they made him more round for the movie. But yeah, he looks how you would want Casper to look, really.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more
For a kids
transparent.
movie, yeah, too.
But yeah, he tells them, like, hey, don't freak out. They freak out. And then we get his uncles, the trio, showing up as a demonic tornado, which I was watching this. I'm like, I bet you I was probably scared in the theater when I saw this. They look horrifying. So they're like, all right, we got to get these ghosts out of here.
Yeah.
Who are we going to call? No, not them. They'll call them in a second. Instead, they call, what's his name? Guido Sarducci from Saturday Night Live, the Italian priest character from Saturday Night Live. That was their first call.
Yeah.
Guido Sarducci.
And that makes sense. You need to get somebody. First thought is like, oh, I'll go for a priest to perform an exorcism.
Again, because we're about to see what universe this takes place in. It's like, why did you not start with the second choice first? But yeah, he tells them it's going to be a piece of cake, a piece of crumb cake. It doesn't work out for him. He gets his head turned around and covered in vomit.
And surprisingly, he's okay.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's walking around totally fine.
Then they call the Ghostbuster.
The one that was left still doing ghost busting.
Dan Aykroyd, who couldn't be bothered to shave the mustache for this cameo. He comes out in the full Ghostbusters uniform.
Yeah.
And he said, like, this is canon to Ghostbusters. I'm like, well, this makes you look really bad. Although I hate Ghostbusters Afterlife and they suck in that movie. So maybe this is canon to Ghostbusters. Anyway, he comes out and tells them to call someone else.
Yeah. Which that means this ghostly trio is more terrifying
Then Gozer
and
Vigo
and the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Yeah, which was technically Gozer.
Yeah, still.
It's both Gozer. And if you consider the TV show canon, anything they fought in the TV show, nope, these three.
Slimer.
Yes, so these three are scarier than Slimer.
I'm afraid of poor friendly little Casper.
Casper was too much for him. He left that part out in the afterlife. They're like, why'd you retire? It's like, I got scared by a little boy ghost and it embarrassed
In
me.
Maine.
Also, I found out ghosts are only here because of unfinished business, and I felt guilty about trapping all of them. So then they hire a demolition team.
Yes.
Doesn't go well. The ghosts chase them out. I do like... There's some really good moments. I do like when she tells Dibs to do something. He like destroys her car with the crane. And it's just like, great. She's great in this, by the way.
Yeah, she is.
Carrigan, she is so good in this. And Casper's sad. He just wants a friend.
Yeah. And then it cuts to Mr. Rogers.
It does.
On the TV.
Who, I didn't realize he was a big Pittsburgh guy. And when I went to Pittsburgh this summer to revisit, it's no longer called Heinz Stadium, but to revisit, the place where I made history, film history. They have a big, giant Mr. Rogers statue out there, and they play audio of Mr. Rogers when you go near it, and it's a big statue of him tying his shoes. It's horrifying. It's the most horrifying statue I've ever seen. I'm like, that's scary. Why did you guys make him look so scary? I didn't like it. I'm like, I don't like this at all. I get what you guys are going for,
I'll
but
have to look it up later.
I didn't enjoy it at all. I'm like, I thought I liked Mr. Rogers, and now I'm afraid he's going to come to life and eat me.
That That's his intention, yeah.
Yeah, but then I do like that he cuts to, I believe it's a Casper cartoon of a girl going, Ghost! Then he switches to Hard Copy. Remember Hard Copy? That was a show. Casper learns about a therapist who talks to the living impaired.
This whole news segment is hilarious.
It really, it opens up with something weird about politicians. They're like, we'll return to our story on, I forget what it was. It was something really funny. Like, first we got to go to this ghost therapist.
Dr. James Harvey, therapist to the dead.
I do like Living Impaired. It reminded me of, not the newest Doom game, but Doom Eternal. Did you ever play any of Doom Eternal?
No.
Well, they're going through, like, the space station. And, like, I guess whoever ran the space station was very liberal. They're like, please, don't refer to them as demons. They are mortally challenged individuals. I'm like, that's really... So when I heard living impaired, I'm like, wow, that's really funny. But yeah, he goes around talking to ghosts, although I don't think he does.
No, he's never really talked to an actual ghost.
He just thinks he does, and people vouch for him.
Yeah, because he's... Obviously, so he's going through grief because his wife died.
Yeah.
And he's trying to find a way to connect with her and I guess prove this. And then how he somehow became a therapist for all these people that are in the same spot as him. But then he thinks he's connecting with their deceased loved one.
Turns out he's not. Turns out he's just what I like to call a con man.
Yeah.
I guess in a shocking turn of events, he's an unintentional con man.
Yeah.
So Casper sees this. He's like, I gotta tell Carrigan. Also, the ghost can leave the house. It's like, oh, they should go on adventures more often.
Well, we see the ghostly trio leave the house and do stuff.
I guess I just always assume ghost can't leave. Goose. I know gooses.
Those goose ghosts.
Gooses. Goose ghosts. They travel south for the winter.
Yeah, they can only go south.
Ooh. Ooh.
You heard honking. Where's it coming from?
So Casper goes through the telephone line into her house. I do like that he's moving the TV to make sure she sees it. So she sees this and she's like, all right, I'm going to hire that guy.
Yeah.
And he's going to get rid of my ghosts. But we learn here that ghosts have unfinished business.
And then are we going to discuss the news crew bothering Kat?
Oh, yeah. They're like filming her outside of her school. She's like, oh, God damn it.
I know. It's like, I would think the school would be like, hey, no, you can't do this. She's a child and there's other children here that don't want to be included in this.
Yeah.
And then they also introduce her in the weirdest way. They're like, and his daughter, Kat, short for Kathy. It's like, okay. Didn't need that tidbit. It's the weirdest, interview.
It was. She so doesn't, but she keeps walking along the fence. It's like, go the other way. Just
She's
leave
like,
them
alone.
But yeah, they mentioned the unfinished business. Ghosts aren't real. Can we get on the same page here? I get pushed back for this. Ghosts aren't real, right?
I like to think they're real.
Do you believe they have unfinished business?
I don't know. I mean, people hold on to grudges, so...
Yeah, why are ghosts always just people and pets?
What else are you expecting to be a ghost?
Well, if we're talking about unfinished business, we live in Bucks County. There's probably a lot of deer that had unfinished business before they were slammed by a truck.
You said pets. I mean, they're animals.
Yeah, but it's only people and pets.
But do deer really have business? They're just going along living their lives.
Monica, this is the good one I got. You know who probably had a lot of unfinished business?
Who?
All the dinosaurs, when a bunch of them died at the same time, they probably had a lot of unfinished business.
And it's been a long time since that happened, so they've probably resolved it.
Go.
They've had enough time to process this.
Ghosts aren't real. The unfinished business thing is so stupid. There's a lot of life forms out there that have unfinished business. I've never heard of a ghost T-Rex. I've never heard of a ghost deer.
Have you ever watched Ghosts on CBS?
That show kind of looks fun, but I haven't watched it.
It's fun. I like it. And then there's this one episode where they find a snail that's a ghost.
Was it a pet?
I don't know if it was a pet, but like they find it on the property and they're like all taking care of it. And then when they complete their business, like they call it getting sucked off when they get like taken up to heaven. And then like this blue light is coming and they're like the one guy thinks he like it's him and he like is finally gonna get to go to heaven, but it's the snail. The snail finishes business.
I might have to watch that show now.
It's a really good show. It's
that show it's the girl from iZombie,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. I know the chick with the Bobby Hill voice from the Hellraiser remake is on it sometimes.
Oh yeah, she pops up.
Yeah.
Like she does an episode a season because of her character's
Yeah.
story.
She was in the Until Dawn movie. I reviewed it. Did you see the Until Dawn movie?
No,
No.
I haven't. I wanted to go check it out.
That's a wait for video.
Well, I just figured I would go see it on like a $5, cheap movie night or something.
That's a wait for video.
Okay.
Actually, that's a wait for streaming free.
It'll eventually get there.
But her and her sister keep bothering me because now that I know they're the daughter of the chick who does Bobby Hill's voice, that's all I can hear. Like in Until Dawn, like she's talking, I'm like, I'm just picturing Bobby Hill. I can't not picture Bobby Hill. We see them heading toward
Maine.
Yes, that's where it is. And Kat's not happy about the trip because she keeps moving. She's like, I've been to 9 different schools with 9 different lunchrooms. And she also wants a friend.
Yeah.
So Casper wants a friend. Kat wants a friend. It's somewhere out there. Wendy is flying around and she might want a friend, but we don't know.
I'm really stuck on Wendy for some reason.
I have a reason to bring it up later.
Oh, can't wait.
They're going to Maine. Friendship Maine. I mean, where else would the friendly ghost live, Monica? Where else would he live? Yeah. Friendship Maine. And also she calls Harvey out, or not Harvey, their last name's Harvey. She calls the doc out. I'm just gonna call him the doc. Bill Pullman from Independence Day.
Love Bill Pullman.
She calls him out and she's just like, you're not going to find Mom. Mom's not a ghost. And he's like, maybe she is. It's like, well, why? Wouldn't she haunt us? Like,
Yeah.
what is your deal here? But he tells her, like, hey, look, if we don't find what I'm looking for, I'll call it quits. Go back to being a real doctor and make money again.
With the living, no longer the living impaired, just the living.
Yes, yeah. Who I guess could be impaired. I don't know. And I do like this reveal because they've been in a desert this whole time. Like, all right, let's go to Maine. And it's just like toward Los Angeles. And you see them turn around. Oh, God. That was a ghost. Monica, I've changed my mind. Ghosts are real. And they hit the lamp that we use.
They're so mad. They're mad. That's their... Maybe now that ghost is going to heaven because they finished their business.
Proving that ghosts are real. So I like that they were driving the wrong way. That was pretty funny. So they end up in Maine. They meet Carrigan at the manor, which they say like it would be great for Stephen King, which is funny because it's Maine. Surprised he didn't have a cameo in this. A bunch of other people have a cameo.
I know.
Carrigan and Dibbs are real creepy to Kat.
You have a beautiful daughter, Dr. Harvey.
Very beautiful.
They're like in her face. Thought that was weird.
Yeah, I mean, they're both weird, though.
And yeah, they're like, all right, we'll pay you when you take care of these ghosts. Good luck. Have fun. Because, I forgot. The reason Casper wants them there is because he's got the hots for Christina Ricci.
Yeah, I mean, that part's a little weird.
He's like, I want a friend. And he should be like, a girlfriend. So he's like, oh my God, she's here. And he's like practicing what he's going to say to her. And I'm like, that's pretty funny. Kat searches for her room.
Yes.
And she finds the room for the uncles.
Which they all share a room, which is pretty adorable.
It is. Stretch, Fatso, and Stinky.
Yes.
Which weren't their names in the comics and cartoons. They were like Laszlo or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, they had to give him a little more fun.
Yeah, but I like... So, did they carve those names into their beds post-death? Or...
I think they might have had those nicknames before they died.
I like that she's like, wow, your parents must have hated you. And I'm like, yeah, those are really shitty names for these three. Also, when Casper gets his memories back, I wanted him to just let me know what the relation to the trio was. It's like, oh, and also my uncles died at the same time.
It was real weird.
Because we skipping forward, we hear about like the dad and stuff. We see the newspapers, and not once does he go, and also my brothers were dead, and I talked to them as well. It's like, where do these guys come from?
But I'm not going to bring them back.
Unless they moved into the manor after he left, and then they died and became ghosts.
Oh, maybe.
Are they even really Casper's uncles, or did they just move in?
I think they're his uncles.
Someone give me the Casper family tree. Well, that's the thing. Apparently, the cartoon, he's just always been a ghost. Like, it's not.
Like he was never a real boy?
Yeah, I think it's because I guess that would be too dark for a 50s cartoon.
True.
Oh, by the way, Catherine Moriarty was like the only one who actually liked Casper. I was reading up that she was just like, she had like, she still had tapes. She taped it off TV, I guess. And like, because she like actually liked the cartoon. And I guess I'll bring it up now. She's in Casper Meets Wendy. She's one of Wendy's aunts. They brought her back. And I remember watching a little bit of that as a kid and being like, wait, wasn't that the bad guy? I'm like, I recognize that as the bad guy. What's going on here? Yeah, Cat goes into Casper's bed. There's a girl in my bed. Yeah.
Okay, calm it down, Casper.
I mean, look, he died as he was reaching puberty. So, I mean, I guess he's stuck at that point. Apparently, Bill Pullman, when he left the scene and trips down the stairs, apparently that was real.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was an accident and they just left it in. He just kept going.
Yeah, because he just kind of played it off.
It was pretty good. It fits the character, too.
Yeah, because he is just kind of like loosey and goofy and stuff.
I like that she was putting a sleeping bag on top of the bed.
Well, did you see that bed?
Yeah, it was pretty dirty.
Yeah.
I would have just slept on the floor in the sleeping bag, to be honest. Casper tries to help her out, though. He turns into a pillow. Mm-hmm. She doesn't like it. She's just like, nah, this pillow sucks. And then he accidentally makes his presence known. She throws a sock into his mouth and he spits it at her. Not a good first impression. She faints.
Yeah.
And then
now her and her dad have finally met ghosts.
I do like, she faints and then he turns into a rag and like puts water on her to wake her up. She's freaking out. And yeah, I do like that they don't, when I was rewatching, I'm like, how long does it take for the dad to realize they're ghosts? Is that like midway through the movie? Like, nope, right away.
Yeah.
I like that he's looking around. He's like, see, nothing in here. It's just Casper waving at him. They freak out. He throws her in a closet.
Yeah. She's like, we're hiding in a closet. It's like, this is not going to be safe from ghosts.
And to make things worse, the uncles arrive.
They always have good timing.
They were at a rodeo, I think.
They were at the Kentucky Derby.
Was that where they were?
They were at a horse race.
Okay. I thought it was a rodeo.
I guess it wasn't May because it was Halloween time, so it wouldn't be Kentucky Derby. Yeah. But like it was a horse race.
Okay, yeah. They were off to the races. They just go on vacations all the time, apparently.
They're living their best life.
They really are. They look like they're having a good time. Yeah. But yeah, they know something's up. They're like, what's going on, Casper? You don't want to eat out here. What are you doing? You're hiding something.
Yeah, they make poor Casper like their bitch boy.
Yeah, they shoot him to the moon.
They make him clean. They make him feed him.
Even though they can't eat.
They somehow enjoy it, though. I don't know.
But yeah, they quickly learn who's in the house. And then they frighten the doc and all jump into his body. Fatso has a hard time jumping into the body. Yeah. I love this scene where he washes his face and turns into multiple people.
Yeah, and then I did read that like supposedly they're all supposed to be representative of like each trio.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I didn't get that.
I didn't get it either. I think it was just whoever was around. So we get Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood.
It's a weird thing to think that he was in a Casper movie.
Yeah, he was just like, yeah, I'll do it.
Rodney Dangerfield. Yeah, I see that, actually. That one makes a little bit more sense. And Mel Gibson.
That's another weird one.
Yeah, I guess so. He wasn't really doing a lot of kids' movies, was he?
No.
No.
He wasn't really known for doing that.
I didn't get to see him at Fan Expo. I didn't have time. I really wanted to wait in line with Mel Gibson. I want to tell him, like, hey, man, I was part of the Gibson for Guardians campaign. Do you remember that?
No.
when James Gunn was fired from Guardians of the Galaxy, there was a campaign petitioning to get Mel Gibson.
I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, it was a petition to get Mel Gibson to direct Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and it was called Gibson for Guardians. Monica, I had a feeling we weren't going to win, but I was like, I got to sign the petition anyway. Come on.
I want to be part of history.
I want to be part of history. Come on, Gibson for Guardians.
I want Gibson to know that I cared.
I want Gibson to know that I was part of that very small movement that did not take off, the Gibson for Guardians. Maybe they'll do a fourth one. James Gunn's too busy now. Maybe they'll get Gibson for
Guardians. He didn't do the last one. He switched sides. He's DC now.
Gibson for Guardians.
They can get Gibson.
I didn't watch his movie with Marky Mark and Topher Grace on the plane. That came out a few months ago. I didn't get to see it.
Oh, you know what? That was like, I was at my sister's house and like my brother-in-law was like had it on TV, and like the bald cap that's on Mark Wahlberg in this movie is so bad.
But Monica, I saw that in the trailer and I was just like, I got to make a point to see that. And then I forgot to put it on the list.
So bad.
But you're saying that as if it's a bad thing. I'm like, I kind of just want to see the bald cap, really, Monica. That's kind of like the main. It's kind of the main selling point of the movie.
I don't really know what else was happening. Like there was a point where the lady cop was the FBI. I don't know what she was.
Yeah.
But like she's getting help from like some flight agent that's like trying to help her teach her to fly a plane in this situation, and he's like flirting with her the whole time. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
And then there's a fourth cameo, Monica. Mm-hmm. It's the Crypt Keeper.
Oh yeah.
And here's my Budweiser Crypt Keeper thing that I bought off eBay.
Thank you. Why are you giving us the whole backstory of this?
I'm so happy because I did that Crypt Keeper origin video that did really, really well.
Yeah, people love Crypt Keeper.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what? People probably want me to talk more about Tales from the Crypt because I also did Demon Knight. Mm-hmm. So then I did a follow-up video. Did not do well. But
Demon Knight didn't do well?
No, Demon Knight did well. And then I did a video about the origin of the Crypt Keeper. And then I decided to do a video about the original comic in the episode, comparing it. Oh. And I was like, this will do well. And I could do a bunch of these. It didn't do well.
Oh, sorry.
I wish I knew that before I bought the fucking Budweiser Crypt Keeper thing off eBay. I'm going to try again. I'm going to try and do a couple more.
This is fun to have.
It is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It is a lot of fun. You know,
and like if you ever have like your own bar in a house, like that'd be great to just have up.
You know what? He wants to hang out. There we go. He's hanging out. They made a friend.
Yeah.
It was great seeing the Crypt Keeper in this because I talked about it in the episode. Like I didn't get to watch a lot of Tales from the Crypt growing up because I didn't have HBO and also was up late. Even when they played the edited versions on Fox, I still, like as a young kid, couldn't stay up too late. Mm-hmm. But it might have been this year or the year after I was the Crypt Keeper for Halloween. So I remember getting to see him in the movie. I'm like, that's the Crypt Keeper! I know him! I don't watch him a lot, but I know him!
I love him. He does great work.
I love him. He's hilarious. So yeah, the ghosts chase the doc all around. He attacks them with the plunger. Why do some objects are able?
I had that question too, when like Casper was able to like make breakfast, and he's like flipping pancakes and making eggs, and I was like, but yet he also can't really touch. Sometimes he can touch Cat, sometimes he can't. It's weird. Like
his hand goes through her, and then he picks her up. Anyway, he uses the plunger, which kind of works. They like roll him up in a carpet, throw him down the stairs, but he eventually gets a vacuum, and he sucks them off. I mean, up into the vacuum. And I just love that shot of the vacuum. They're all like punching in there.
Yeah. I really feel like this was a great mix of like child humor and adult humor.
Yeah.
So like if the parents who took their kids to see this were like laughing along too.
Yeah.
And they could have some of their adult jokes.
Like when Fatso is being vacuumed, he goes, "This sucks." Speaking of vacuum, the next day, Cat's walking around with a little vacuum.
Yeah.
Casper says hi to her in the kitchen, and I think this is the scene they were talking about, like the first scene where where they did all the ghost effects. Yeah, they merge their hands together because they can't touch, even though he picks her up in a little bit. And he grabs her hand later too.
Yeah. So it's kind of
Yeah.
it's not very clear on those rules.
So the doctor arrives. He's excited that they're making them breakfast. So it hasn't been 5 minutes. We're still talking about this one scene. We didn't take a break. When he goes through the wall and his hat gets left behind, it reminds me of, I believe it was a Pepsi commercial.
For some reason, I have bad memory, but I just remember Pepsi was always connected with Casper.
You know what, Monica? I shouldn't have a Coke here. When we hang out from now on, I'm going to have Pepsi.
But I don't like Pepsi.
No, but I'm going to have I'm going to buy a Casper hat. Okay. And always be holding a Pepsi, so you don't forget all these moments we've had together.
Listen, I know I don't have the best memory, but I remember weird shit.
And yeah, what's weirder than me always holding a Pepsi and wearing a Casper hat? If I could go back in time, I would have worn that at your wedding. And you would be like, Tony was at my wedding. I remember because he had a Casper hat.
That's the magic formula. You just have to be wearing a Casper hat and have Pepsi. And I'll remember.
Next time I text you to remind you of something, I'm just include a picture of Casper. Including a picture of Casper so you don't forget Anyway, I always remember that commercial where he's trying to pull the Pepsi out and it's stuck in the refrigerator. He's like, oh man. The uncles show up being real assholes. And then the doc is like, I'll hit them with sunlight.
Yeah, I don't know where he got that idea from.
I don't either. But I like that they entertain it for a second and they melt. Only to come back a second later. They're like, we're not vampires, you idiot. They're not happy that Casper is serving humans.
No, because Casper should only be their servant.
Yes. And he's not they're not happy that he's cleaning up the place. He's like, what the hell? There used to be way more food and stuff around. He's like, but we have guests. He's like, who cares about these assholes? So yeah, they stuff their face. Food goes right through them. Kat calls them out. She's like, you guys are jerks. She'd probably be like, go die, but they already did. So it's kind of hard for them.
Go die again. I don't know.
But the doc is like, you know what? I'm going to get through to these guys.
I'm going to use my skills on the living impaired.
Yeah, and they throw food on him.
What do you say?
Kat sees a girl named Amber, and I have it here. She's the bad guy, or one of the bad guys.
I feel like that's a weird definition of bad guy.
This is classic,
she's a bully.
Yeah, this is classic, kids movie stuff where, I don't like the way that girl looks. Yeah. I'm going to bully her forever.
She talked to my boyfriend. She came to school and...
Barely.
I know. He talked to her first and helped with the locker.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, hi, yeah.
No, but I've known girls who have done that.
I mean,
I've known girls whose guys were the problem, but they didn't want to admit it, so they always yelled at the girl. And it's like, well, I mean, I should always be defending men, but this is a case where I'm like, well, your guy didn't have to go over there and do that. I don't know why you're so mad at the girl in this situation.
Okay, I feel like we're going into your trauma, and we need Dr. Harvey here.
Not trauma, okay? Happy memories. I was wearing a Casper hat during some of these things. That's how I'm able to recall it. Okay. All right, so the Halloween dance, they can't do it because the gym or whatever's messed up, so they're delaying it a few months. Yeah, because the asbestos in the gym has not all been removed. They have to delay the Halloween dance by a few months.
Yeah.
Not just cancel it, delay it.
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna be awkward having the Halloween dance during Christmas, but you do you. But the girls suggest, and by the way, I don't know why the teacher is in charge of this, but the girl gets up and goes, "We should have the dance at my boathouse," and the teacher goes, "Good." It's like, wait, were you in charge of that?
I think the teacher is like, I don't care.
Yeah, it's like, wait, can you get permission from a parent? What? Okay.
The way she throws herself around, it seems like her family's probably important in the town.
Yeah.
But
I feel like we were missing some information there because there was definitely rich, snobby kid stuff, but I feel like I needed to know a little bit more.
They're in Maine, so.
Yeah. Why did I say yeah? I've never been to Maine. Are they like that in Maine?
No, but Maine's usually New England area, and it's, that's more affluent, better schools, better.
I never spent time in New England. I don't know what it's like up there, except they have monsters.
Haven't you gone to Massachusetts?
I guess that counts. I forgot does Connecticut count?
I don't think they could count Connecticut.
Okay. Well, I've been to Connecticut once. I only ever go to Boston though, and until this last
like
trip.
Boston's kind of like the beginning of it, I think.
Okay.
Someone's gonna come after me.
I've only been to Boston, and up until last year, I only was ever at the convention center. Like, we occasionally would go out and eat somewhere, but then I was always back at the convention center. Last year was the first time I actually explored Boston. I guess they're all assholes up there. Is that what you're saying?
No,
you're saying everyone from New England is an asshole.
No, I'm just saying they're usually like, no, they're more like affluent up there. Like,
Okay. So yeah, Kat has to introduce herself.
yeah,
And the
'cause she's
teacher
new
messes
girl.
up and calls her Harvey Cat.
Yeah.
And she says her name's Cat, and the bully goes, meow. And it's like, really?
They're kids.
That's the best they could do was
Yeah.
meow.
I mean,
It's really friggin' lame, Monica.
it is lame, but it's
very
much
lame.
better. It's much better than some nicknames that kids get. So
What nickname did you get?
I don't want to talk about it.
Did you get Paloozer?
I did not get Paloozer, but my name, obviously, Monica,
Yeah.
during the Clinton scandal, usually got called Monica Lewinsky. So that
Those
was
kids
fun
even-
as a child.
Do those kids even understand that joke?
They probably like didn't fully understand
Yeah.
it, but like it still was just like,
You know, I'm honestly shocked. Paloozer, I didn't get it more. I got it very rarely, and I'm like, that feels like it's just open, like ripe for the taking, and
Yeah.
not a lot of people went on
you
it.
realize you're probably gonna get called Paloozer now, unless you cut it out.
Oh no. Oh no. I will ban anyone who says that. No, I gotta use reverse psychology. I love being called it. But yeah, Casper's in the class.
Yeah,
He's on Mount Rushmore.
watched
Which I thought was
over
fun.
her.
Yeah, he is watching out for her because he's also tying everyone's shoes
Yeah.
together, who is an asshole to her.
No, he ties everyone's in the classroom.
Oh yeah, he does the whole
Yeah.
class. He goes overboard. He goes overboard.
I mean, some of those kids probably didn't deserve it, but
Yeah.
like,
But everyone at the thing, they can't believe she lives at Whipstaff Manor. They're like, what?
yeah.
And then one kid is like, yo, let's go party up in that crib. It's a black kid, but it's clearly being written by two white ladies. So it's just like the way he's talking, I'm like, that's two white ladies thinking that that's what that kid would sound like.
I mean, it was the 90s, so yeah, that's how they had most.
Yo, check
black
it. I think he
characters
says,
talking.
yo, check it.
Mr. Curtis, check this. We're dead for the Halloween dance, right?
He tells them like, hey, we should go party at the manor. And everyone's like, yep, that's it. We're partying at the manor. And I'm like, again, does anyone ask for permission?
They don't even like wait for her to check with her dad.
No, nothing, nothing. So
She's
the
like, "I don't
uncles,
care."
the uncles are breaking all of the Doc's stuff. They almost break the picture of his wife.
And then they stop.
Yeah, but yeah, they end up doing some therapy for him. They get to know more about him. They're like, wait a minute. They learn about the wife, and they're like, oh, we've actually met your wife.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? He's like, yeah, we talk all the time.
Great.
All the ghosts talk about haunts and stuff. And yeah, they're like, hey, Fatso, go get his wife. I knew where this was going. But yeah,
Poor Dr. Harvey didn't.
he didn't. He's a sucker. He's a sucker. But there's a light behind the door, and they're like, go get her. And they open it up, and it's Fatso and Drag. He's like, my man! Which I think is mean. I
Yeah,
think
it
that's mean for the ghost to do.
But they make up for it later.
Yeah. Which I have questions about, but anyway, Kat talks to her the schoolboy crush that she has, and Casper is getting jealous.
Yeah. Not a good look.
I feel like there was a deleted scene where Casper might have went to his house and was like, roar.
Yeah, but then that kid would have never come to the manor.
Yeah, that would have made sense. But yeah, it turns out him being her date is a plan set up by that bitch. Can't trust him. And Casper's sad that he can't be Kat's date because he's a ghost.
Yeah.
And I think she's like, what does he have that I don't? He's like, a tan, a pulse.
He's alive.
Yeah, he's alive. So then Casper turns into a superhero
Yeah.
and then kidnaps her. and pulls her out a window, almost kills her.
Yeah, that wasn't a good scene for Casper.
No. Again, he is a teenage boy. He hasn't learned these things.
True. They didn't get much interaction with the living.
That's true. So yeah, he picks her up and just takes her to a lighthouse. But yeah, we learned that Casper and I guess the other ghosts have no memories. So they're there because of unfinished business, but I guess the longer you stay,
Yeah, that's what it seems like. The longer you stay, like you start losing the memories that you had and like who you were.
Yeah. So how do you ever get to finish your unfinished business? Seems like a trap.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she does start helping him remember though.
Yeah.
Like, so it doesn't take much.
Yeah.
They just go into a certain room in the house and he's just like, oh yeah, that.
But I do like where she's like, I'm forgetting my mom. And it's just like, it's been a year. All right, let's relax, Kat. We get the famous where she's like falling asleep and he's asking questions and he does like, can I keep you?
Can I keep you?
It's creepy. I don't like Monica. I don't like it. It's just,
so
can I keep you?
Skipping ahead a little bit.
Yeah.
Is I read how like Devon Sawa, he of course he repeats the line when Casper becomes human for a little bit, and Devon Sawa's like, he's like, I would always get people messaging me or like at conventions being like, can I keep you? And he's just like, I've never said that to anyone besides this line in the movie. And he's like, I won't say it. He's like, it was cute for the movie. He's like, but I'm not gonna do it again.
It's creepy. It's creepy. Can I keep you? It's just like, you are my property.
Yeah.
It doesn't help that he kisses her without her consent. Cancel Casper. We're doing it right now. Hashtag cancel Casper.
He's a ghost that's been around for 200 plus years.
Monica's making excuses. Cancel Monica. Cancel Monica. She's a Casper defender.
I am a Casper defender. Okay. Because Cat's mom starts to try to teach Casper like some of this stuff. Like, hey.
Monica's pro-Casper campaign is going to not do as well. It's actually going to do worse than Gibson for Guardians. Casper did nothing wrong by Monica.
Yeah, no one's going to care. No one's going to care at all.
But
now
yeah,
I'm upset that Fan Expo already happened because I'd be like, we should just go to the Fan Expo and walk around and be like, Casper. Or you could do the Gibson.
Monica, I almost froze when I was in line for John Carpenter's panel.
I know, you texted me that.
I was like, I never get starstruck or anything. I'm like, oh no, I'm about to talk to John Carpenter. Oh no. And I'm like, I'm like, when I got to the mic, I'm like, words better come out of your mouth or you're going to look freaking psychotic. It worked. It was great. I asked him about Elvis.
Oh, okay.
I said, hey, I really love your Elvis, because it almost became a joke. They started making fun of everyone saying The Thing is great, Halloween, The Thing. So I was like, hey, I really like your Elvis movie. And I was like, did you ever consider doing any other biopics? And he went, no.
Oh, that was it?
But then the girl next to him was like, how did you decide to do that? He's like, I didn't. No other director wanted to do it. And they came to me and I said, I'll do it. I'll do Elvis. His Elvis movie is really, really good, but I guess he just didn't want to do a biopic.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like his thing.
But no, I know going in that he's a sarcastic, like grumpy asshole, and he was really funny. So like when I was almost good that I got the sarcastic was no, and I'm like, I couldn't have asked for anything better. Got one of my heroes, one of my idols. I ask him a question, I get a 1-word answer. I'm like, perfect. I think he was happy just because people kept asking who the Thing is at the end of the movie. He's like, I'm not telling you guys. I don't even think he knows.
He might be like me and just forgets. Like I knew at one point, but
So yeah, Kat the next day wants to borrow money. I like that she's like, I found your credit card. He's like, where was it? In your wallet.
Well, throughout the movie, we see how like Kat takes care of her dad. Like she's making, like she knows where the types of light bulbs and like what they need for the electricity. And like his clothes are always just disheveled. Like his shirt's always wrinkly. He's just kind of like thrown together.
The mom was the one keeping things together there.
Yeah. And I think when she passed, it also made it worse.
Yeah. So she wants to buy a costume for the party.
Yeah. And the nice placement of the Visa card.
Yeah. But he's like, you always make your costume. She's like, I don't want to look scary. I want to look nice, like date nice.
Yeah.
And then he's about to have the sex talk with her. And I like this moment where he's like, she's like, you're a little late. And he goes, how late? She's like, not that late. Not that late. You're fine.
I know about this stuff, but
I haven't done it. Just relax. But yeah, he tells her, hey, we don't have money for a costume because I'm a ghost therapist.
And we haven't cleared this house of ghosts, so we haven't been paid yet.
Yeah. So she's like, all right, I'll just make something. She also asked her dad, she's like, hey, can you keep those 3 assholes out of the house when the party starts? Please, for the love of God, get them out of here. Then this is when she starts investigating the attic, looking for an outfit. She like finds the room. She doesn't clean it up yet. I feel like that she like brushes the window and a beam of light just shoots in.
Like it's that grime's got to be really stuck on there.
Yeah. So the doc has another session with the ghost, and I like that he's giving them the silent treatment and ignoring them. And they're like, "Wait, what the hell's this?" Like they're being all mean. They're like, "Wait, he's not talking to us."
Yeah. Wait.
And the Carrigan and Dibbs are spying on them. And the uncles are like, you know what? We got to help this guy out. We're now friends with him. Let's take him to happy hour.
They adopted him on his wing. Like.
So they take him to happy hour, which I think it's implied when we get to happy hour. Like they do this a lot. No one in that bar is shocked by them. But yeah, he technically gets the ghost out of the house. Yeah. And Carrigan and Dibbs are like, all right, let's do this. Casper sees that Cat cleaned his room. And it starts to bring his memories back.
Yeah, all the stuff that he used to play with.
Yeah, and he's like, oh my God, there's this. He's like, I remember all this stuff. And he gives her a dress, I think belonged to his mom or something. And then Casper finds a sled. And then we get like this.
Real Rosebud moment.
It really is. It really is. Should have said Rosebud. It reminds him of the day he asked for a sled and his father gave him a sled. And he sled all day. And his father said, hey,
you're going to get cold.
Stop sledding. He's like, I'm going to keep sledding till nighttime. And then he got pneumonia and died. I guess lucky for him, his dad was a crazy inventor wizard or something.
So, yeah, his dad's name was McFadden.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't know if that was his last name. But he created the Lazarus machine.
Yes. Lazarus, like Batman.
Yes, just like Batman.
And the Bible. See, I knew about the Bible.
It's more famous for Batman.
Oh, is it? Yeah, the name Lazarus is more famous.
More synonymous with Batman.
But yeah, he remembers more stuff. He's like, wait a minute, there's a thing I got to show you, and he drags her in the wall because he forgets how ghost powers work. Oh, it turns out his dad went to a loony bin.
Well, yeah, because he was talking to ghosts.
Is his dad a ghost out there somewhere? Because I feel like he had unfinished business. Where's Ghost Dad? And I'm not talking about Bill Cosby, the star of Ghost Dad. Where's this specific Ghost Dad at?
You know what? Maybe he thought he finished his business because he created the Lazarus machine.
He's like, I'm pretty sure someone will figure it out.
I'm good.
So yeah, he remembers where the machine is. And they go on a weird ride.
I just want to say, like, we need to bring back crazy inventions in the home. Like, we're doing all farmhouse stuff now, but like, I would love a chair that like zooms me around the house.
I love it's like, did no one notice that there's a chair built into a track? Like, no one's ever tried to move that chair before.
I want hidden doors I can go through. Like,
oh yeah, because that's right. The library has like a rotating door.
Yeah. And he's like, my dad had a hard time like getting up and going in the morning.
Yeah, so it is a machine that you can sit in. It'll take you down to the secret lab and it'll brush your teeth for you. I don't know how that toothpaste still exists. It'll put shaving cream and shave your face for you.
You know, a little scary.
Yeah. And then puts a little bow tie on for you. But I like that Dibbs and Carrigan do it afterwards. I don't know how they got a second chair. And he's like fighting the blade. And when you see him later, he's all cut up.
Yeah.
So yeah, why did Casper's dad make the ride so scary? There's sound effects. They're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, why did he do that?
Because he sounds like a great dad that just wanted to have fun.
Yeah.
Like everything Casper wanted to do, he's just like, yeah, you know what, we'll do it.
Yeah.
And then his downfall was the sled.
Yes. But apparently
not any of the inventions.
They apparently did it after death too. Because he's like, my dad would work on this machine, but he'd always stop to play pirates with me.
Yeah.
And then he goes like, oh, Whipstaff Manor treasure. He quotes the thing that we saw earlier. And what was he going to say? Oh, yeah, I have it here. This man was more obsessed with inventions than Vincent Price in Edward Scissorhands. Those two would have gotten along
They would have.
great.
Yes, they would.
Like, I made a thing that shaves my face. He's like, I made a giant thing that makes cookies when I could just make cookies or buy them at the store. I have a really inconvenient system to make cookies.
I just always want fresh cookies, so like the machine does it for me.
Oh, and at this point, Casper points at the vault. He's like, "Oh, that's just the vault."
Yeah, that's where the treasure is.
I feel like Cat should be like, "Wait, what? What's in there?" But Carrigan's like, "Oh shit, the vault! We got it!"
That's where the treasure is.
And the thing to start the machine is inside a Frankenstein book because it's about bringing the dead back to life. So they bring the machine out of the liquid that it's in. And I have it here. Why did the bad guys assume they could just open the vault when there's clearly a dial on it?
I don't know.
They're just like, it's not opening. It's like, yeah, it's got a combination. You gotta put something in there.
They didn't really want to do too much work here. They hired somebody and they've just been stalking everybody since.
So the machine gets fired up. We learned that there's only enough ghost juice, I'm sure they had another name for it, to bring one person back to life. So he's like, all right, let's do it. We're gonna do this machine here. But apparently Dibs steals the ghost juice and Casper turns into an egg. Was he
Just a
doing
little runny, dippy egg.
Yeah, was he doing it to be funny or did it actually turn him into an egg?
I think it probably turned him into an egg.
She does have to blow him up afterwards. Yeah. So Carrigan is like, all right, we got to figure out a way to get in there. And she's like, wait a minute. One of us could die, go in there, get the treasure, and then we'll be brought back. And she she volunteers Dibs for this. He does not like this. So she's like, come here. She's like, it's the action chase. I like that.
Okay.
I like that he's in the night outfit putting fudge on the ground.
It was so Scooby-Doo.
I know.
Like him in the night outfit. Like, where did he get this mud or fudge or something from?
I have no idea. But then she's chasing him with the car. She ends up going on a cliff. I like that she opens up the door. She's like, Dibs, you asshole. And it just falls to her death.
Right off the cliff.
And Dibs checks on her. He's like, are you a ghost yet? And he thinks he's in the clear, but then she comes back as a ghost. And she says, Monica,
Alien 3?
No, I was gonna do a reveal.
Okay.
She says, the bitch is back.
Not so fast, little man. The bitch is back.
The bitch is back, Monica.
Yeah.
From Alien 3. Did you know I recently talked about Alien 3 again?
No, I did not.
I have a problem.
You do.
The fans re-edited Alien 3. They fixed the terrible rod puppet effect.
Okay.
And everyone's praising it. But I have issues with all the other changes they made. I am the unpopular one right now.
Okay.
Check out my video to see what's wrong with the Alien 3 Legacy cut.
It really messed up your hair.
My hair looks like shit anyway. How's it now?
You gotta like pat it down a little more in the back.
Better?
Better.
Okay.
Probably didn't help with the switching around.
It's a dramatic reveal, okay? Speaking of dramatic reveal, we get to see her big shadow. And she's like a giant ghost for just that one scene.
I mean, as a kid, I probably didn't care, but like them, like Carrigan, and then obviously when we see Doc, like when they're ghosts, like they're way more cartoony. Like I get they're supposed to be like still kind of like versions of themselves.
Yeah.
But
I guess you become more cartoony as you go on.
like you lose more of your features.
I think so. But yeah, we get to see the Doc doing karaoke with the boys. And again, there are other people in this bar, but they're passed out. They're like super drunk. And I'm like, do they just find the one bar in town where everyone's shit-faced?
Yeah.
And no one will say anything about ghosts?
Or they're just used to it. They're like,
Yeah. But they all love each other now. They're all having a great time.
They're all best friends.
And they decide, they're like, you know what? He'd probably be happier as a ghost.
Yeah, he could go and do adventures with us and hang out.
I love that they all have weapons. And they're sneaking up on him. And they hide the weapons behind him, but they're invisible. So
Yeah,
you just
and they're
see
kind of a little sad about it. They're like,
Yeah, because then he's like, you guys, it felt good. He says, feels great hanging with the boys again. And Monica, all I could think about is August this year. Boys month 3, Monica.
Doesn't that notoriously do bad for you?
Can't fail third time. Third time's the charm is what they say.
I don't know.
Look, the first one was a surprise, okay?
Yeah.
The second one, you know, I think just people weren't willing to accept change yet. But I think enough time has gone by that Boys Month 3 is going to be our biggest month ever of all time. It's going to be great. We're all going to have a great time. Maybe I'll have Dan in a video. But
Yeah,
just
sure.
him, because it's Boys Month.
Okay.
I love hanging out with the boys. I would love to be a ghost with my boy.
I'm sure my husband misses you.
That's what it's good. Monica, next time he's here, I'm just going to pull out a gun and be like, Dad, we can hang out in the store forever.
You guys could go to karaoke.
Yeah, it'll
He
be
loves
great.
karaoke.
It's down the street. It's like
Yeah.
we can go to the store, karaoke.
I'd appreciate if you didn't kill him, but like,
Stop trying to ruin our good time, all right? I'm trying to do a murder-suicide over here.
I don't have life insurance for him. Okay.
So yeah, they're all moved by his speech, and he's gonna go out drinking some more, and he falls into a construction site that was conveniently by the front door.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like a bar should not be open if that construction that's very dangerous.
No, it says trench. He
Yeah.
falls for a while.
Yeah, it's not safe at all.
Yeah.
I was thinking, but I did recently go to a bar where they were having construction out front.
Yeah,
Not that deep though.
Yeah.
There wasn't a trench, so like you really couldn't have died.
yeah.
But like I was like,
Nobody got hurt.
They need to keep the place open. I get it.
So yeah, he accidentally kills himself. Uh-oh. And then the Carrigan ghost arrives to grab the treasure. Scares the shit out of Kat and Casper. They get the hell out of there. And this is bad timing because the party starts.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, wait, there's a bad guy down there who like won't let me bring you back to life and everything. And oh, wait, the party's here. Gotta go deal with that real
Take care
quick.
of the party, yeah.
So yeah, they let the party in. She's like, yeah, just hang out in this big room. Don't go anywhere else. Then they go back to the basement to try and bring Casper back to life. But Carrigan stops them. And then Dibs betrays her. Because I do like she's starting to forget. Because she grabs the treasure. And Dibs is like, what about the second part of your plan? She's like, what part? It's like, to bring you back to life. She's like, oh, right.
Yeah.
You start to lose your memory really fast.
Yeah.
It's really not fair. It's really not fair, this
That's why you can't
afterlife.
get to your unfinished business, some of these people.
God damn. Dibs betrays her. And she grabs the bottle from him. And then, I assume, kills him. She knocks him out that window. He goes really far.
And then I guess he doesn't have any unfinished business because he doesn't come back.
No, he doesn't.
He's just like, I'm done. I'm done.
But I like this where Casper's like, what about your unfinished business? It's like, what? She's like, I have my treasure. It's like, oh, so you're done? Like, yeah, I don't have any unfinished business.
Yeah.
She like explodes. It's horrifying. Did she go to heaven? I don't know what the rules are in this universe. So you think the movie's done there. Like, bad guy died, but not quite, because the doc shows up. Ghost dad. Again, not Bill Cosby. Different Bill Pullman ghost dad. Not to be confused with Bill Cosby.
Both Bills.
Both Bills. Both Bills. Yeah, Bill Pullman shows up. Like, what's up?
Yeah.
And he has no idea who Cat is.
No, so yeah, they do lose their memories real fast.
Yeah, because she tries to do the pinky promise. He's like,
Yeah.
just playing around. But then she reminds him who he is, and he starts to feel guilty. And then Casper does the right thing. He's like, put him in the machine. We'll bring him back. Whereas I would be like, wow, that really sucks for your dad. He's going to be a ghost now. Hey, hit that lever.
I'll take care of you.
Like, what? I want to come back to life with no social security number or proof that I exist and be really confusing. And what, you want your dad back?
No. We could just be two young people living off of whatever money we can somehow find. I don't know.
Yeah. So they bring her dad back.
Yeah.
So he has a second body out there.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the machine brings her clothes back, too. Much like Jason and Jason Goes to Hell. It brings him back.
Kids movie. Those have to come back.
The writers of this were watching Jason Goes to Hell, and they're like,
at
he
the
can
same
come
time.
back with
Gotcha.
his clothes. Yeah, so that means there's a second Bill Pullman body. Someone is running the prints on it, putting it in the morgue. But then
Unless the ghostly trio take care of it. They might go and cover it up.
Maybe it got buried. Because I'd be like, wait a minute. How is his corpse here, but he's still walking around? This doesn't make any sense. Something to think about. I kind of like that there's a corpse out there somewhere with Bill Pullman.
There's a whole other movie.
Could you freeze it and harvest it for organs as you get older? I don't know. I don't know these things.
I think at that point, they're not really going to be viable.
It's been less than 24 hours. Pretty sure some of them will be good. I don't know how it works.
You usually have to move the organs pretty fast from once you take them out of a body.
Whatever. Cat goes to her party.
Yeah.
And again, Casper is jealous because he's simping. And her date and bully, they plan to scare them.
Yeah.
As a ghost. Are they supposed to be dressed up like her dead mom? Is that what we're meant to?
You know what? I don't know.
Because that would be like the bully thing to do.
Yeah,
but I feel
would
like
be.
I feel like this movie was too afraid to outright say that because it's really mean.
Yeah, to make fun of a dead mom.
Yeah, that for a kid's movie, you tend to avoid that. Then again, you tend to avoid child death, but Casper does a whole speech about it. So I don't know the rules, actually. Their plan falls apart because the uncles scare the shit out of them.
Yeah.
And they run out. Friggin' Amber gets, like, decapitated. She gets clotheslined, and I'm like, is she about to be a ghost?
What's her unfinished business?
So yeah, they scare him away, and then I realized the song that's playing during this is Digital Underground's what is it? Same World, same song, all around the world, same song. Oh, Digital Underground.
You keep saying those words, but I don't know.
They were a hip hop group in the 90s. Tupac Shakur is one of the writers on this song.
Okay.
This song and the group Digital Underground appeared in Dan Aykroyd's Nothing But Trouble. They're the music group that comes in and the judge.
Oh.
And he sings the song.
Okay.
Very first video on this channel from 2014 is me and my friend Keith reviewing Nothing But Trouble.
Oh, really? That's the first one?
On this channel. Not the first Hack the Movies ever, but the first video on this YouTube channel.
Okay.
The first Hack the Movies was The Last Airbender in a parking lot.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway.
Memories.
Yeah, so yeah, it's all around the world. Like, that's the song from Nothing But Trouble. And Humpty is in it. Humpty Hump.
Yeah.
The other Digital Under song is the Humpty Dance.
I wonder why.
Stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to. I look funny, but yo, I'm making money. See, oh world, hope you're ready for me. Now gather around. I'm a new fool. I love doing it for karaoke because I know most of the words of that song.
Okay. Good for you.
I sang it with Royce in Florida a few years ago, and there's a part where he's like, white people, black people. And then I got to like Samoans, and like there were no Samoans in the bar, so I just pointed at an Asian guy and went, Samoans!
Close enough.
My friend Royce was dying. He's like, I love that he just found a random ethnicity and just went Samoan. Anyway, so Digital Underground. It's funny to think that Tupac Shakur has a song on the Casper soundtrack.
Yeah, that is interesting.
And then I have it here. I don't know. Cat's mom's an angel or something.
Yeah, it's not very clear.
Yeah, we're really shoehorning a lot of weird supernatural stuff at the end here. Now we got angels. And she's wearing red, and I guess it's an angel thing. So she shows up.
I think maybe that's probably what she was buried in. Which is a very gaudy dress to be buried
I was
in.
gonna say, like,
Like, maybe she loved it. I don't know.
That's a very interesting dress. You know what? When I die, let my family know I want to be buried in a red dress.
Okay. I will. Oh, wait. I need the Casper hat and Pepsi.
Oh, shit. Wait, hold on. Monica. I'm going to stand by the Casper sign.
Yeah.
Monica, when I die, let my family know that I want to be buried in a red dress.
Just like Mrs. Harvey.
Yes.
Okay.
From Casper.
Okay.
Okay, good. You're going to remember that now. I guess you could also pull up this video. But anyway. She shows up and he's like, wow, you're Cat's mom. You're an angel. What? He should say what. But she's like, yeah, that was a very noble thing you did, and I'm gonna make you a real boy temporarily till 10 p.m.
Yeah.
I like that even he's like, what the fuck?
I know. He's like, who did he say gets till midnight?
He's like, Cinderella got till midnight.
Yeah.
And she's like, she wasn't 12 years old. And it's just like,
it's still a pretty shitty thing to be like, you only get, like, what? He got an hour, maybe?
Yeah.
It's not very clear how much time, but, like, it's a short amount of time.
Yeah. Well, look, he is the teenage boy. She's like, if I give him an extra hour, he's gonna. I don't think. What's his face? Doc Harvey has condoms laying around. They're gonna make care of this. I don't trust them to make the right decision, so we're gonna cut this off at 10 p.m. So yeah, she's like, you can go get to be a real boy, and then he turns into Devon Sawa, which apparently him and Christina Ricci were like in a movie before. Oh, Now and Then, right? Yeah. I should somehow Now and Then keeps coming up, and I haven't watched that movie probably since we rented it in the 90s, and I'm like, I should probably watch that movie.
Thing. It's probably like coming up on its anniversary, so it's getting
maybe.
popular again.
I guess I'll watch it Now and Then.
Okay.
Something about that movie is calling to me.
All right. You connect with your inner girl.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm going to watch that movie and be like, why the fuck did I watch this? I don't care about any of this. Rosie O'Donnell? What the fuck? Did Christina Ricci, was she the young Rosie O'Donnell?
I don't think she was Rosie O'Donnell's character.
I don't remember. They're dancing. All the girls on the dance floor are looking at Devon Sawa while they're dancing with their dates.
Yeah, because all the girls had a crush on Devon Sawa.
These hoes ain't loyal. That's all I'm saying. They ain't loyal, Monica.
He's the fresh meat, you know?
And he's not wearing a costume. Just putting that out there. He's not wearing a costume.
He has a sword. So he's like
He had a sword?
Yeah. He had like a little sword.
That fucker was dressed as a pirate while he was going on the sled and died in his pirate suit.
Okay, we don't know if he was brought back in the outfit he died in. Or maybe his dad buried him in his pirate outfit.
Monica, when I die, back at the Casper sign. When I die, make sure I'm buried in a pirate outfit. Please.
Like exactly like Devon Sawa.
Exactly
Casper?
like Devon Sawa.
Okay. Oof, it's gonna be real difficult getting those boots on you.
Glad we figured that out. I'm less embarrassed by that. I gotta tell Tim I gotta keep this. Tim, I gotta keep Casper so Monica doesn't forget things. So yeah, while that's happening, Kat visits the doc. She's like, "Hey, I'm an angel." By the way,
not Kat, Mrs. Harvey.
Mrs. Harvey, sorry. She's like, "I'm an angel. By the way, Jesus is real. You might want to go to church." By the way, I'm just saying, if you're coming back from the afterlife, can you tell us which religion is the correct one? I feel like it would solve a lot of our problems.
No, they're not allowed.
Damn it!
That's like rule number 1. You can't tell anybody anything.
Well, I guess there's no reincarnation, so you can check a few off. You can limit. Yeah. Anyway, she's like, "Hey, I'm not a fucking ghost. I'm not one of those soulless ghosts, you asshole. I'm an angel. Stop looking for me."
Stop looking for me.
Yeah.
You know, your daughter's here. Focus on our daughter.
Yes, yes. Why did you think I was a spooky ghost, you dick? That's what she should say.
Why have you been conning people since I died?
But then she said 3 ghosts kept their promise. It's like, wait, the ghosts can call heaven?
I guess so.
And communicate with angels?
I guess maybe.
It's
like another plane of existence, I guess.
Can these angels tell the ghosts what their unfinished business is so they can cross over?
No, I feel like that's another thing they just can't. They're not allowed to.
The rules of the supernatural universe. This movie truly is hell. This is a living hell. What counts as unfinished business? Like, I never found my car keys. I have unfinished business.
Yeah, maybe. God damn it. I never watched that movie.
But yeah, she tells them like, "Hey, just be a good dad. Pizza's not, French fries aren't dinner or whatever." Yeah. And then she disappears. At one point, she's like flapping her arms. I'm like, all right, lady, relax. The fan's doing most of the work here. You don't have to flap your arms. Yeah, and then Casper kisses Kat.
Yeah, she doesn't know it's Casper.
No, she does.
Not at first.
But before the kiss, she does.
Before the kiss. But
Yes.
I mean, like, she doesn't know at first. She just dances with this random boy.
No.
And then he also says,
Can I keep you?
Can I keep you?
He doesn't say it as creepy as
hold
that.
Hold on. Can I keep you? See, everyone's watching that. They're like, that is creepy, just like Devin Sawa.
Because you said it creepy.
I said it just like him.
No, you didn't.
Can I keep you? That's exactly how
No, it's not. God damn. I need you to cut in the clip of him saying it so it's not as creepy now.
So they kiss and he turns into a ghost.
Yeah. It's 10 o'clock now.
Yeah. And everyone runs away.
Yeah.
They're terrified. And then everyone's...
I don't know why, because he's such a cute little ghost.
I know. He looks so adorable.
He, like, literally.
But yeah, they run away and then everyone dances and the uncles are dressed up like Little Richard for some reason. And they're singing Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Yeah, they got on the Casper train, finally.
And everyone's just dancing awkwardly because Christina Ricci and Bill Pullman had to dance with nothing. And then during the credits, Stretch opens up the credits and sings some more.
Yeah.
Did you see that? I've never seen that in the theater, being like,
You were scared of everything
I'm like,
when
the
you were
movie?
a child.
I maybe not scared. It was more like an unexpected. I'm like, that's when the movie's done. I'm like, how is he here? The movie's done. I don't understand.
This was before we had Marvel post-credits.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the movie ends. Look, it's okay.
I love it. I know it's like obviously very much nostalgia.
Yeah.
But I still feel like it holds up.
So a lot of it does hold up.
Like you could watch it with your nieces now and they probably would still love it.
Yeah. Well, my sister tried. I don't think they were too into it. I think you need to be like a few years older.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're not on the Devon Sawa train yet.
However, Godzilla and Kong and Jurassic Park, totally fine with.
Okay, maybe your nieces aren't the best example for this discussion. But no, I still think it's a fun movie. It's cute. Yeah, there's rules here and there that don't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I love Bill Pullman.
Bill Pullman is
And
great.
I would, if they ever remake this movie or make another version of it, I want his son to be his version. I want Lewis Pullman to be Doc Harvey.
So they were, is that Century?
Yes.
I still haven't seen Thunderbolts at the time of this recording.
Oh, okay. I've seen it.
I hear it's good.
It is good. I don't think it's amazing, but I still think it's good.
In comparison to everything else they've been putting out, I'm sure it's amazing.
Yeah, because I mean, I didn't even see the new Captain America, so.
Yeah, just Google it. Just Google what happened.
It's going to be on Disney Plus soon, so I was like, I'll probably just watch it when it's on there.
Still haven't seen the Marvels. But yeah, actually Thunderbolts was one I was looking forward to. I almost saw it like 3 times and the scheduling was a nightmare. Anyway, yeah, I like it. And yeah, he would be pretty good. They were going to do a sequel at some point, but Christina Ricci was hesitant to do it.
Yeah.
So in between, it ended up being the only follow-ups. They did The Spirited Beginning, which is a prequel, I guess, or something. Or he moves to a new town. I'm not really sure. Because I don't think it's Whipstaff, because they were like, we can't rebuild that manor on a direct-to-video budget.
Nope.
Get the fuck out of here. I think James Earl Jones is like a voice in that one. And then they did Wendy meets Casper meets Wendy, which is, what's her face?
Hilary Duff.
Hilary Duff. And then the 3 witches were Kathy Moriarty, playing a different character, Shelley Duvall, and Terry Garr.
Damn.
Like, I kind of just want to watch that again because I like all 3 of those actresses. But I know I'm going to get 5 minutes in the movie and be like, I don't give a fuck about Wendy. Oh, Catherine Moriarty in the interview, she said she didn't like Wendy for this. She's like, I used to love Casper, not so much that Wendy, but I really like the Casper cartoon. I'm like, oh, that's funny. But yeah, it's okay. It's definitely a product of its time, but the production value is really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a heartwarming moment here and there, except the Can I Keep You, which is creepy. The cameos are fun.
I forgot. Also, apparently there was supposed to be a Poltergeist cameo as well.
Oh, yes. They had the girl from Poltergeist.
Zelda Rubin?
Rubenstein. Yes,
Yeah.
apparently she was going to come out of something, and then they
go
cut
toward
it.
the light or something.
Oh, man. They should have put that back in.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Zelda Rubinstein. I don't know why I said that like it was recent. She was dead for a really long time.
I would have believed you because like,
I mentioned nothing about Terry Garr and Shelley Duvall, but Zelda Rubinstein, I was like, rest in peace. Feels like just yesterday.
That one really gutted me. God damn it, they took Zelda.
Not Zelda. I feel like Marge when she thinks Lenny's dead. Not Zelda. Not Zelda. But yeah, it's an okay time. It's a great time. For some reason, girls from the 90s really love it.
Girls from the 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You 90s girls, like, I feel like people like me, like guys are like, yeah, I remember Casper's pretty good. It's okay. But girls are just like, no, it's great. Devon Sawa.
Yeah. I mean, listen, a product of my time.
Yeah.
So much was like monster romance kind of related. Like, it's not like a romance movie, but
Yeah.
like he's got a crush on Kat and like they have their little flirting.
Yeah.
I was a sucker for anything supernatural.
And now you like ghosts.
Yeah.
You're only attracted to bald ghosts, apparently.
Okay. Don't know how we got. I mean, I know Casper's bald, but like, geez. My husband has a bunch of hair.
I know, and it kills you. You're like, I wish he was a bald ghost. And I'm like, Monica, don't kill and shame Dan. Don't shame Dan and kill him. Don't do it. Anyway, that's Casper. Do you still like this movie? Have you always liked it? Did you hate it when it came? I know some older people, like my friend Nostalgia Critic, not a fan of this movie.
Well, he sucks.
Whoa! Monica, that's my good friend Nostalgia. He gave me a shout out recently, and we got a bunch of people checking out the channel. I shout him out. You go, he sucks. What the hell are you doing to me, Monica?
I feel like it's crazy to be like, I hate this movie. Like,
now you're calling Doug crazy? Monica, you're killing my friendship with the Nostalgia Critic.
You don't have to include this.
I'm including it.
Go for it. God.
He also didn't like the Page Master, which
Honestly, I don't really remember much about Page Master, so I can't really comment on that one. Like, I remember it's Macaulay Culkin.
Monica, it came out a year before Casper, so your memories weren't working yet because Casper hadn't activated your brain.
I remember nothing before Casper.
You're like, that movie, you're like, this event happened in 2 BC. And you're like, Monica, that was the 90s. Yes, 2 before Casper.
All my calendars are by Casper time.
I remember I went to high school in 10 AC. What's that? 10 years after Casper. All right, okay, I feel like we lost the... Okay, Casper. That was Casper. Please like, share, subscribe, follow Monica.
Sorry, Doug.
Sorry, Doug. My friendship with Doug is ruined.
It shouldn't be. I'm not sure everybody loves my taste.
Go back and watch Doug's Casper review from 20 years ago.
No,
check it out.
Don't do it.
God damn it. Patreon, merch store. Follow me to see where I'm going to be, when I'm going to be at the Mahoning Drive-In this summer. I booked a bunch of dates.
Okay.
Oh, it's going to be a long summer at the Mahoning Drive-In. But yes, that is it from us. Goodbye.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.